Hi everybody, and this is Alchemist 2 yet again with another book review. As you probably well know, I am a humongous fan of Lebanese Snickett. And when I discovered that he was writing yet another series, this one called All the Wrong Questions, if you can see it. This is the second book in the series. The first one, let me go ahead and quickly flip into the leaflet. Who Could That Be at This Hour? It's the first book, which I haven't read. I actually got it from Barnes & Noble, but I am going to read it. Probably should have read that first. But I absolutely adore Lemony. His wit and his humor and his methodology of style, satire, I absolutely adore. He uses sarcasm to the T, and it's the same kind of writing style that he used when he was writing A Series of Unfortunate Events, which I absolutely cherish to the utmost. And I know there are a lot of people who probably will flame me when they say that I absolutely love A Series of Unfortunate Events, the movie, which covered the first book, second book, and third book. First book is Series of Unfortunate Events, second book is The Wide Window, and the third book is The Reptile Room. Of course, I don't remember the rest of the books in order because I really don't have that much of an eidetic memory, sadly. But I think over time I could probably learn all the titles and be more prepared to recite them at will. Second book in the All the Wrong Questions. When did you last see her? When did you see her last? Excuse me. When did you see her last? We've got Lemony on the case, who's looking for a girl who's missing. And I really enjoyed the artwork in the book too. It's very stylized. It looks very noir. It's nicely done. It's done by this artist named Seth. And his name, it has no last name, no surname. It just says on the back of the leaflet that he appears innocent, but looks can be deceiving. He's the creator of Palookaville, Clyde Fans, and the Great Northern Brotherhood of Canadian Cartoonists, and can be blamed for the art and all the wrong questions. And I love this book, and of course the cover. Note what some of the octopi are doing. It's so neat. I just thought that was so clever because I was looking at it, I thought some of the octopi look worried, some of the octopi are looking at one another, and I know the reason why that is, but I'm not going to go into the whole story of the book itself. But there were times when I was reading this, I was laughing my butt off, and normally I don't do that when I'm reading a book, but I wish this would have been longer. It's like with any other of Snickett's books. And it just has that feeling of a cop novel or your detective story. And the characters' names are so very innovative. One of the characters is called Moxie. You've got Zora and Zeta. They're twin sisters, and of course they're kind of funny when Snickett meets them, but they play an important role in the tale, and I'm wondering what's going to happen next because they left it at a cliffhanger, and I thought, no! When I was done with that, I said, cliffhanger, and I hung my head. But I'm looking forward to seeing what'll come next, and I'm definitely keeping this, and I'm going to keep it in good condition like I do all my other books. So it has a good home, and it's well taken care of and very precious to me. I know that sounds kind of silly, but I really don't have that much else to say about All the Wrong Questions other than if you're a Snickett fan, you absolutely positively have to pick up All the Wrong Questions because it's written in a similar style as to Series of Unfortunate Events, and it has the same kind of irony and wit and humor and puns and of course allegorical characters And it's just a lot of fun. It's very entertaining, and if you want to laugh, then pick up this book. It's just really, really entertaining and hilarious. I give All the Wrong Questions number 2 thumbs up. Boo. 5 stars, hands down. It's kind of hard to, since my computer's not working, it's sort of challenging to be working with a camera that's on top of my father's PC. Tekna is down. She's not doing too well. That's my main compy. She's probably going to have to be reformatted, which I don't. Okay, I'm not going to cry about it, but Tekna is very important to me. She has some documents on her that could be published for possible money. I'm hoping that's the case because I have a really excellent, well, in my mind, it's my magnum opus, and I'm hoping that I can get it published and for people to read it and enjoy it. And I've had dreams about meeting my fans and them coming up to me dressed as characters from my books. And at first I don't know how to react, and of course I take it very humbly, and I sign their autographs. And I've had this dream more than once, so I'm thinking it's not just a lucid dream, but an actual gap or a glimpse into the future. I feel that some of my lucid dreams are kind of a doorway, so I always keep that doorway open, and I have really a lot of optimism about that. Well, we'll see. Fingers crossed. And who knows? I'd like to get something on the silver screen, although it would probably be produced by a independent company. I don't want to go to Hollywood and produce a film just because they're kind of greedy. No offense. I love Hollywood, don't get me wrong. I love a good film. But recently seems that Hollywood has been lacking in their creativity or their innovation or something new, different, and bold and genre breaking. The only movie I can think of that kind of did this was Cloud Atlas as of late. Well, Avatar, and I like Avatar. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. A lot of movies kind of take you out of yourself and have that kind of surreal feel to it. And I think the other film that I recently saw that did that was Gravity, which I really enjoyed. Not sure what else to say about cinema or books in general, just different stories. I'm writing in my composition book. I wrote a story about a man who, it's a short story, but it's about a man who is born in the Victorian era. It's called Traversing Age and Time, and he's born in the Victorian era in Sweden, and he grows up learning how to become a clock worker and clock repairman and a mechanic, and he comes upon his father's tomes of alchemy, and within those tomes of alchemy are the elixirs of life and rejuvenation and eternal youth, and he's able to use a spell to reverse his clocks and keep them wound, and he sets that enchantment on a whole bunch of stopwatches that he has, and he exists for over 210 years, outwitting death because of this, and shrouding himself. And of course death comes with an apprentice known only as X, and he's looking he talks to my main character's father about this knowledge of life and enlightenment that he has, and of course he won't give it to him, and he places my main character's Papa puts a shroud over them, a shroud spell, and it keeps them secluded and safe from death and his apprentice. But later on you find out that my main character's clocks are all winding down, but he comes to accept this as a part of the natural world, and he actually he welcomes death as a friend. It reminds me of a story told by Carlos Castaneda. That's actually where I got it from, the whole idea that death isn't something to be feared, but rather to be embraced, because death really isn't the end, it is the beginning of all things. Of course, because we don't know exactly the process of death itself, that's why it's so scary. But this was something that came to me, and I think it was just the idea of Castaneda's friendship with death. It just thought, oh my goodness, that's so appealing. So I put that into that story, as well as a little bit of steampunk, because my main character, Olaf, he is an inventor. He has steam powered inventions that he has created over time, and he sets the enchantment upon his watches and his wife's watches and his children's watches, and even though he knows that his children are going to outlive him, but it was probably one of the better stories I've written, and I wish I had written my Luck Saga in my composition book, but hopefully it's still there. So we'll see, because I really want my Quantum Jumper. Actually, she starts out as just a regular time traveler until she ascends to the level of Quantum Jumper. And her name is Regina Sestatina P of the Third. And she has to discipline herself to become a quantum jumper, because all it takes is the literal act of jumping, and she can go focusing on an actual target of where or when she wants to travel, and then poof, she appears there. Of course, she goes in very comfortable vestments, because you gotta be sleek when you're traveling through space-time. You gotta be aerodynamic, because space-time's curved. Yeah, makes sense to me. But I really don't know what else to say other than that. And if you're a fan of Lemony, then I highly recommend All the Wrong Questions, because it really is a blast, and it was just the most fun I've had in a good long time in reading a book, other than Dr. Sleep, which was probably the most terrifying book I've read in a good long while. Of course, I haven't read Under the Dome, which is over 1,000 pages, but that should be a walk in the park for me. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to go watch World War Z, and then I'm going to come back and review it. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao.